As usual, I've picked out 5 positions for you to solve that will test your calculation and your pattern recognition. Starting with some easy ones, and then they get a little bit harder as we go on. So here's your first position, which was played in the Chess.com Isle of Man Masters Tournament. It's white to play. Of course, I'll give the solutions after I've presented all 5 positions. And of course, you can pause the video at any time if you want to perhaps set up the position on your own chess set and solve it from there. Next position. Also white to play. Again, another one from the Chess.com Isle of Man tournament. Vishnu against Tanya Sachdev. White to play. What's the quickest way for white to win? Next one. Also from the Isle of Man tournament. This one is black to play. Black to play. What's the quickest way to win? And now I've picked out one of the games from the World Championship, and you might recall, well, this position where Caruana supposedly missed a mate in 32 after bishop h4. Well, what I want to do is test you on one of the variations from that. So this is quite a bit down the line, and I did demonstrate this in the video, but I'm not testing your memory as such. I want you to try and work it out. So black to play and win from this position. And then I spotted just recently a very old study of Troitsky, Troitsky, the famous Russian study composer, where, well, there are similarities with white playing with bishop and knight, and black having a bishop but on the opposite colour to white's bishop, so you can see the relation. And this one is white to play. Well, obviously white to play and win. Good luck, and I'll now give you the solutions. So coming back to this game, and here white won very neatly with this nice little deflection. Quite easy, but anyway, I liked it. King takes and queen takes bishop, check, followed by rook down and mate. Okay, next one. That's definitely the easiest. And this one is nice. Rook h3, I mean, that's an obvious starting move. Threatening mate. The rook therefore has to move out of the way. And now it's this move which perhaps you might not have seen. I don't know. Who knows? Bishop f6, and that really is the end of the game. As white threatens, well, possibly bishop takes bishop, but the real threat, of course, is queen h8, followed by mate, and that is unstoppable. So it's just a nice one to remember. And this is really good. So after rook a, white on the last turn played rook a1 and was hoping that after rook takes rook, which is correct, queen takes rook, he was trying to force an exchange of queens with some survival chances, but no. There's a very neat checkmate which he'd overlooked. Rook takes pawn. Now if the king goes back, then bishop takes bishop, and that ends the game quickly. So after rook takes pawn, knight takes, and now bishop takes bishop. If king takes, then queen d2 is mate. And if king d3, well, that's the game continuation. Knight c5, check, and after king takes, queen f2 mate. Very neat indeed. So yes, player of the white pieces, who's rated, Sumya, rated over 2400, but obviously missed that snap checkmate after rook takes pawn. Easy to do. Now, Carson Caruana, this game where Caruana was kicking himself for missing a mate in 32. not easy to see at all when all the positions look so similar and seem like Magnus had a fortress. Here, there's a really nice win. As I said, this is way down the line. By this stage, it's possible to see it. But after a check, King f8, that's the really nice move. And White is almost in a kind of Zugzwang in this position. So first of all, Knight f7 and Knight takes pawn threatened. So Bishop h5 prevents that. And now this is Zugzwang after Bishop d2, or well, just moving the bishop, passing with the bishop basically. So if, let's say, Bishop g6, just waiting. Now there are various ways to win, but this is definitely the clearest. If pawn to h7, then we play bishop here and checkmate. And after king h7, knight g3. Now that really is Zugzwang. That's beautiful because the knight covers this square. It also, the bishop squares here are covered too. And if the king comes up, then we take here. I mean, that's obviously winning. And yeah, otherwise, well, let's say bishop here. Well, there are absolutely loads of ways to win that position. Let me see. We could just do this actually. And after this, take this and protect that one. And well, we can gradually force the king back, put the knight here, and then bring the king up. And if we come back to this position after h7, this is really neat. We can play. Well, there are a few ways to win. Of course, you could just move the knight, but let's be flashy and give up the knight. Check here and bishop here, followed by bishop g7. Great stuff. So coming back to this position, hopefully you spotted this mechanism and king f8. I think that's the important move basically. And after this, well, it's not too difficult. And now, related to this, we have Troitsky's study. This is very neat. We can actually trap black's king in a mating net. So the way to do it is bishop check and knight check, and then bishop h1, and the king is caught. So if the bishop moves this way, then we play king f4, and then king f3, followed by bishop g2 mate. And if the bishop moves that way to stop this, then the king comes here, and this is a kind of Zugzwang. If the king moves here, we take the bishop, and if the bishop moves again, we have black's king in a mating net. There we go, beautiful stuff. So real life does imitate art sometimes, at least in the, well, potentially in the Carlsen Caruana game. Hope you enjoyed those. Thanks very much for your support, and thanks for watching.